Hello, it's Fran Davidson from psychicandenergywork.com.au, and this is my monthly update for April 2025. The monthly update is always a halfway through the month quick look at what's going on energetically, spiritually, numerologically, in a bid to sort of help you understand whatever dynamics are coming your way to the degree that you need to, and also to place perhaps how you can continue to work with them for the rest of the month. This month, April 2025, has a powerful chart. Now, it's not as if we're not used to that happening. For the last little while, powerful charts have sort of been a constant. And yet, one of those numbers, the reality every April, is a 33.6. And 33.6, together with the MO of 29.2, in a sense, what that tells us is that truth, balance, integrity, genuineness, healing, love, all of those things, they're perhaps more important to subjects than they usually are. And hello, they're usually pretty important. This month also has a specific reality number of 2161, which reduces through 10 on its way to 1. Now that in itself, 10, can make people feel more alone, more abandoned, more isolated, less part of the consensus, less included, less supported than perhaps they usually are, or even perhaps as they should be able to expect. Why do I say these things? Because in a way, all three master numbers this month have the ability, very strong ability, to rattle cages, to undermine faith, confidence, optimism, and to also throw a whole lot of curveballs that can make us rather reactive, rather less than understanding, and therefore perhaps more in our egoic boots from time to time than we're inclined to be or even would like. We can all do that. We are all human. Therefore, we all do these things all of the time, no matter the loudness, no matter the degree. What matters is that as soon as we can, we sort of correct what we've just contributed into the mix to the degree that we know we should. So what I want to come back to really in this month's chart is the fact that we have 3 6s. In itself, 3 6s isn't a whole lot. It's more if you have a numerological chart personally that contains 6s, because that also matters when we're talking about a month-to-month experience. 6 on one level is healing. It's love, it's resolution, it's problem solving, it's as in outcome, it's goodness, it's feeling right, living right. Within that level, therefore, it is also truth, genuineness, authenticity, balance, healing. And of course, balance and healing can only really play through when we're being true to ourselves. Now, what does true to ourselves mean? Obviously, we all sort of know what that means on a surface level. But being true to self is also about supporting self as mentor, as acknowledger, and therefore on one level as the first being whose, you could say approval, but again, just support and acknowledgement that we turn to in those moments where we're feeling a bit alone, a bit wobbly, a bit out of sorts. We can all support ourselves very nicely on a more mundane, that is physical or obvious level. We feed ourselves, hopefully. We dress ourselves in a way that's safe, comfortable, appropriate. Yeah. We take care of our financial needs to the degree that we can. Yeah, we look after ourselves as social beings to the degree that we're able. Energetically and spiritually, though, we can do all these things and yet refuse to acknowledge ourselves as whole, complete, albeit human beings. What do I mean by that? There is an exercise where you can picture yourself turning around to yourself and actually deciding to support yourself completely. Support doesn't necessarily mean agree with yourself. Yeah, we can have moments where we don't particularly like ourselves, where we don't necessarily approve of what we've just done or what we're contemplating or thinking. We can have moments where we can absolutely loathe ourselves for what we've done or what we're about to do or thinking we want to do. Yeah. So backing yourself, caring for yourself, being true to yourself is about loving yourself in a way that, yes, I'm human. Yes, I know I may not be as perfect as I'd like to be. Yes, I know I have more to learn, develop, and get better at, but that doesn't mean I need to abandon me. So when I'm talking about backing self, and accompanying self, it is literally on that level. I stand with myself as the encourager, as the mentor, as the empath, as the compassionate, as the explainer, as the guide, as the reinforcement, not necessarily because I'm right or even seek to be right, but more because I don't abandon myself. I don't leave it up to the rest of the world to reinforce me or to reassure me or to even approve of me or back what I'm doing. I do that first. And so again, that exercise of picturing yourself turning around to the you that doesn't feel supported, doesn't feel acknowledged, doesn't even necessarily feel like they are part of a group or recognized or acknowledged for where you are at. Turn around to that part of yourself. And even if you don't agree with the perspectives right now, actually tell yourself and mean it that, you know what, I'll back you. Because in part, we're here to back ourselves. That is part of the journey. And I don't mean that, again, just on a surface level, on a mundane, everyday, physical work, life level. It is on a spiritual level as well. We have been sent here to learn to back ourselves in a balanced way, in a way that is truth, is integrity, and therefore in a way that can coexist with a whole lot of others that are needing to do that and should be given the right to do that at the same time. So I find that this exercise can be a layer of rungs, a layer of levels, where you turn around and you agree to support yourself. You turn around and you say to yourself, you know what, I back you. I'm here for you. Yeah, I'm with you all the way, even if I don't agree with you today. I'm with you. Why? Because you deserve it. Because you too are a human being, and it's not just your job to do that with everybody else. You have to do it to you first. Why? Because it's only at that point that we are actually allowing ourselves to be our resilience and therefore channel our resilience, to share our resilience, to even act in resilience. It's only in that point that we are allowing ourselves to be heard. In a way that then life reflects back to us that experience of being heard, being included, being acknowledged. It's amazing, isn't it? Because on so many levels, we can hold expression in. We can hold thoughts, feelings, wounds in, as if we somehow have to carry them alone for the rest of time. And yet that's not what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be sharing these things with ourselves and therefore allowing ourselves the space to acknowledge them, to express them, whether that be in writing, just to ourselves as a processing process, or whether that be in voice, just to ourselves or even to other people. Our job is to acknowledge where we're at and therefore to acknowledge our feelings, our thoughts, our fears, our issues in a way that we let them speak. Because it's only when we let them speak that we actually give ourselves a chance to resolve them, to understand them, to heal from them, but also to allow other people to heal and to grow as well. So in a sense, these sixes, together with 29-2 in April, and it comes every April, as the how we are just about to learn and develop and become the next better version of ourselves. 29 says, position well, deal with things, close it off. 29 adds through 11 on its way to 2. 11 is the master number of truth, big picture truth. Life suddenly delivering us insights, big picture moments where we go, oh, that's been happening, whether that be about other people, whether it be about the world at large, whether it be about ourselves. Yeah? So truth matters this month. Truth is a dynamic to stand by, because that too is part of backing self. Backing self is about saying, you know what, this is my truth, not because I ram it down anybody else's throat, but because, you know what, I'm allowed to act from my truth. I'm allowed to know my truth. I'm allowed to express my truth, not necessarily because I'm right, not even necessarily because I'm going to, shall we say, win or know more than others, be correct, but because it is only through expression that we ever get to resolution, and therefore full understanding, harmony, collaboration, win-win, authenticity. So enjoy your time in April. Dare to allow yourself to know your feelings, to know your responses, even if they sort of feel socially unacceptable, even if they sort of feel over the top or out of whack. Give yourself the space where you can actually hear what the person inside you, if that's the way to say it, is feeling, thinking, and needing to say to be heard. Because again, being true to yourself is about the fact that I stand with me. I am true to the purpose for which I've been sent. I am being true to myself. In other words, I am backing myself. I'm honouring myself, but I'm helping myself through every step of the journey, not in a way that's delusional, not in a way that's inflated or deflated, but in a way that is support, love, acknowledgement, integrity, as I would expect it from others, as I would give it to others, and therefore as I have been sent to give it to myself. So space, time, breath always, time out. Space to meditate, space to actually just process and come back to that sense of, you know what, life's good. And implicit in that is go for nature. Go for settings that inspire you, re-energize you, help you downput tools, help you feel better at the end of it. Drive out of your normal bubble on a regular basis, whether it's drive, whether it's catch a train, whether it's whatever. Get out of your normal bubble of travel every so often, because just doing that can allow new perspectives and therefore shifts and change and new steps in. All the very best to you for the rest of April. Please feel free to get in touch if you need a hand on any level. Also go through to the website if you want to energetically develop, spiritually develop, intuitively develop. Thanks for tuning in. Let me know how this comes across, and see you soon in my monthly observations for May 2025. Take care.